So today we are going to talk about how you solve a math problem that has more than one math operation. Your math operations are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In addition to these, we also work with exponents. I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to do exponents. And the order that you do these operations matters. So this will just be a review. You've learned this before. In what order do you perform the math operations when simplifying an expression? Well, the little an acronym to help us remember this is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And what this stands for is P is for parentheses. If you have parentheses holding an operation, that's top priority. That has to be done first. After parentheses, we then look for any exponents in the problem, and that would be second priority. After that, we look for multiplication or division in the problem. Now, if you've got multiplication and division, or multiplication twice, or division twice, you always work from the left to the right, because multiplication is not more important than division. If you've got a problem and it has both of these operations and the division happens first in the problem, you would do it first. So if you've got multiplication or division happening more than one time in a problem, just work from left to right. And then the very last thing, the least important of all the math operations, would be addition or subtraction. And once again, if you've got both addition and subtraction in the same problem, addition is not more important than subtraction. They are equally important. You would just work from left to right. So we're going to just practice some problems. Use the proper order of operations to find each of the following. So when two things are written right next to each other, like the -4 and the 3, that means these are being multiplied. I'm going to put a little time sign above that. I actually picked up on another student doing that, which let me see what a great idea it is to remind yourself this is multiplication. So we've got multiplication going on here, and then we've got the addition of -7. So out of these two operations, multiplication is more important than addition. So I'm going to circle this and show that we'll do this first. So use your calculator if you need to perform -4 times 3. And we have already covered this, so you will know once you put this into your calculator that you get -12. And then bring everything else down. Now, let me back up for a minute. I know that there are parentheses around this negative number. That's not what this P up in the order of operations means. This P means if you've got an operation inside the parentheses. Let's say you've got parentheses holding two numbers being added or subtracted. What's happening down here in number 1, you see you've got the plus sign and the minus sign. That would be confusing if it's written without the parentheses. So this is just showing you that you have the addition, there's your operation, the addition of -7. So now that we've done this multiplication, the only other operation we have is addition. You can use your calculator or your number line to work that out, and you get -19. All right, number 2, let's read this. See these 3 things here are written right next to each other? That means -4 times -5 times -2. That's subtraction. I'll put SUBT above it, showing that's subtraction. And this is -8. So over here, I've got multiplication twice. So we'll do these 2 right here. -4 times -5 gives you positive 20. That still needs to be multiplied by negative 2 before we do the subtraction. So I'm going to circle this. That's my next operation to do. Positive 20 times negative 2 gives you negative 40. And now we're ready to do the subtraction. Now remember, when you're subtracting integers, you've got to do the double change. Change that to addition, change the sign of the following number, put this in your calculator, and you'll get negative 32. All right, pause the video and work through this one. See what operations are taking place, which one you do first, which one you do second, and then after you've worked it out, come back and see if you worked it out correctly. All right, right here we have division, that's negative 25 divided by 5, and then we've got addition. So up here in our order of operations, we see that division is more important than addition, so we've got to do that division first. We've got an odd number of negatives involved in the division, so my answer is going to be negative. Negative 25 divided by 5 is negative 5. And then we're going to add 11. Use your number line or your calculator, and that gives you 6. Down here, number 4, we have a math expression with lots of variables, but then look, you're told what each variable is equal to. So the first step is going to be to substitute the numbers into the variable places. So on top, we've got W, which is 36. This bar right here means division. Now look on the bottom where you've got X and Y written right next to each other. That means they are multiplied together. X is negative 6, and I want to show that that is multiplied by Y, which is negative 1. So I'm going to put the second number in parentheses to show that they are multiplied together. Now bring down the plus sign. Y is negative 1. I'm going to put it in parentheses because it would look weird to have a plus and a minus right next to each other. Then bring the minus sign. And this Z is going to be raised up to the third power. Z is negative 2. I'm going to put that negative 2 in parentheses because once again, it would look weird to have these two written right next to each other. So let's see, we've got division and multiplication and addition and subtraction and exponents. So what's the most important thing? It's exponents right here. Now, when you are raising a negative number to an exponent, follow along with your calculator. Your brain is way more intelligent than the calculator, and the calculator might do that wrong. So let me show you how to do it. Whoops. Let me get a calculator that doesn't have dead batteries. All right, here we go. I'm doing just this part. I'm going to have to put that negative 2 inside parentheses. So find your parentheses. There's my negative key right here. 2. Close the parentheses. And you see this arrow pointing up. Find that on your calculator. That will raise negative 2 up to, and this is going to be the third power. And that gives you negative 8. So I'm bringing everything else down. 36 divided by negative 6 times negative 1 plus negative 1 minus, now I just did all of this in the calculator, and what did that give me? It gave me negative 8. So now looking at what's left, what's most important? Well, I'm going to have to do this multiplication down here to figure out what that number is, and then do the division. So bring down the 36. We have an even number of negatives, so when I multiply this together, I get a positive number. That's positive 6. And bring everything else down. Be careful that you don't leave anything behind. Now we're going to do this division. 36 divided by 6 is 6. Bring down the plus sign, -1, the minus sign, -8. Now we have addition and subtraction. They're equally important. Just work left to right. Add these, you get 5 minus -8. It's a subtraction problem. Do your double change, and now you get 13. So you pause the video, you do number 5, and let me go ahead and tell you about number 6. We have this math problem, this expression right here. 9 and C written right next to each other means 9 times C plus 100. Well, the parentheses are important here because you've got operations going on inside the parentheses. So you have to do all the parentheses stuff first. And then it's divided by 5. Well, let's read the problem to see what this is giving you. The expression here is used to convert temperatures from the Celsius scale to the Fahrenheit scale. Here in America, we use the Fahrenheit scale when we're talking about what the temperature is. Over in Europe, and I think everywhere else in the world, they use something called a Celsius scale. And so this formula converts it. The average temperature in Helsinki, Finland, in January is about -5 degrees Celsius. That's what the C means. It's -5 degrees using the Celsius scale. And what you are asked to do is to find the temperature in degrees Fahrenheit. So you're going to take this -5, put it into the formula in place of the C, and work that out. So you pause the video, you work these two out, and then come back and check yourself.